is up, my YouTube family? Didn't like that. All right, what's up, YouTube? I'm back after a long break. Don't ever do that to me again. Right? It's you. It's you, not me. So, as we can tell, new garage, who dis? Quick rundown. What's going on? I moved. Clearly, this is a new space. Plan on doing another lift here, but currently kicking it old school, working on the ground. Ugh. What does life come to, right? It's all fine and dandy. However, what I am currently doing, I'll run you down on this before we have a little chit chat. I am going to be installing, this is a converter dump valve and a pressure. So we'll do converter line pressure, a dump valve. And then this is a Terminator expansion. Pretty nifty little box. Was running out of IOs, so inputs and outputs on that Terminator. Kind of necessary. Really want to go fastest next year and have lots of data so we can get like drive shaft speed to wheel speed, or we can do like pressures on the exhaust. So EMAP, it's EMAP. So we can do EMAP, so on the hot side of the turbo, we can measure the pressure there versus the pressure on the intake side, so we can balance it out. Converter line pressure, like I said, so we can map that and see if there's anything funky going on. We will do trans temp, because I don't know what that is. I just have a fan that just says I'm on or I'm off. It just does its own thing because it's on its own sensor. Yeah, temp sensor. Check it. Squirrel. Sidetrack. On to a new thing. The Hemi, right? Everybody loves and wants to see this. I picked up a Terminator on Black Friday for that. So we can get cracking on this as soon as possible. I really want to get this thing going. This is going to be one of my goals for 2025. This needs to go. It needs to run. Run, drive, pretty dang close. My transmission that I have talked about, let's walk you over and I'll show you what's going on with that. It's not a great situation. There is essentially just garbage everywhere. So, I mean, you can see all of this crud in here. And, oh, yep, on the band, there's some metal. Oh, wait, there's more metal, and there's more metal. So, there were some good things and some not so great things, like this is a BTE valve body, but it is their base valve body, so it just is reverse shift and firms up shifts. It doesn't have any of the trans brake goodness, so we need to fix that. The sprag was a 34 element sprag, which was great. However, this drum is toast. So you can see, can you see? Focus? You can't see. Anyways, it's got some nasty grooves, which means there's nasty grooves on the inside of this too. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see some of the hazing and stuff as I blocked off that light, and then more metal. I got hosed. I'm gonna see what I can salvage, if anything at all, and then we'll move forward from there. Real quick too, while I'm walking back, I am going to actually plan on putting like a 4-post lift here for storage. Probably do like the 2-car 4-post. These are 12-foot ceilings in this entire place. So we will lift it up high enough so she can still park her car underneath. Mama still needs to be able to park her car and stay warm and cool, depending on what time of season it is. So I got it out. I actually got this governor plate off, and I am trying to put this on there. Fun fact, my transmission still has the governor on it. So that flat plate, this one is not going to work at all. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to take and weld this little guy onto the outside of this so that I can make all of this fit together. This is the solenoid, and I'm gonna have to put it on a 90 and like wiggle it in there and make it work right, because it does not fit. It is too tight because this thing is monstrous, huge. What I do have done so far, get down. I'm gonna die. So, let's get up under here and I'll show you where we were. So, look at that lovely contraption. So we got the T that goes down, well, goes down there, but it will go down to, can you see? Can you see? Yeah, there you go. So there's the governor there. That's the plate. It's gonna cover that. And then I have my pressure sensor there so that I can monitor what is going on and actually can see if it's doing anything or not. So I have to go get my welding gas from the storage unit because I'm still in the process of moving into this house and I don't have everything here. Luckily I was able to find a few things that I needed, like some of the adapters and stuff, so. Went over, have my welding gas now. I popped a hole in this, cut this guy in half, so we're just gonna go like that. See, beautiful. I, however, do really need to clean this off. This is like rust. It shouldn't be like that. It should be kind of like that shiny underneath. So we'll just run a wire brush over this real quick. And I will run some terrible, terrible shitty welds over this. And we'll stick it on. So I was just going to totally film that and I forgot. But it's done. This was actually just some raw galvanized steel. So got some extra lung cancer because of that. But I'll take and run this in as far as I can, get it nice and seated. But hopefully everything's good. Hopefully it's not going anywhere. Let me give you a little rundown what's going on. The plate's on with the 90. Let's take and see how that turns. It is basically right against this, and I don't like that. So I might try and change it, but for now we're just going to test and see. So the solenoid's in there, the 90. See, it runs all the way down and over, and it's hooking up there. So yeah, it's looking good. So now I just need to get the line onto my trans cooler. So look at that. New lift is in. Thing is very tall. I'll show you in a little bit. But currently what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into pulling out my injectors and testing them. So they've been sitting all winter with a, not 100% E85, I guess it'd be 85% ethanol, 15% fuel. It's been sitting with a higher content of ethanol in there all winter. It started a couple of times. It sounds so-so. So I bought one of those eBay fuel tester, or fuel injector testers. Why not? Let's try it out. Let's give it a shot. It's the worst case could happen. Blow my car up. Worse. So we're just quickly popping off the fuel rail here. I'm actually going to pull and try and reseal my valve cover too. It's kind of leaky. It's been leaking. Speaking of leaks, the transmission is now leaking as well. Not ideal. Gonna address it, but we'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to it. Yeah, let's just dive into this and figure it out. And then we will try out this contraption. I do probably need to check the spark plugs. Haven't done that for a minute. Usually not the best thing to do, but I do it. All right, so I popped the doohickey out. All right, you coil pack, whatever. 3 bolts. Hold this rail on. Nice, cheap Chinese rail. It's got a bolt on the backside. Yeah, so apparently they're all loose. I need to throw some Loctite on those things. It's the last thing I need is a fire. Or do I? I don't know. Probably not. And if you're gonna go to the trouble, well, hold, rewind, pause, playback. Got them popped out. Had a little bit of a crisis. This one stayed in, and you know, we forgot to relieve the pressure off the tank, so she was just a running. However, if you're gonna do this, go to the trouble of labeling your injectors. So this one's labeled with 5. I just label them in the order of the cylinder that they're in. You might as well see if there was an issue, or when you go to put them back in, make sure you're putting them in the right spot. I like to try and put them in the right location depending on how they flow versus what the manifolds do. So it might not make a difference at what power level I'm at, but just some food for thought. So I'm gonna get the 3 other ones out since this one came right out, and then we will hit it on the tester. Okay, I just gave it a quick test run, but I wanted to show you what it was like. The big injectors really leave that fuel rail out. I can try and feed it more pressure, but there's no point because I don't operate over that, but it's really foamy right now. I'll show you when it's done, hold on. Okay, so now it has sat. So I have not touched these, I have not cleaned them yet. I literally pulled them out how you saw. They are labeled 1, 3, 5, 7. Apparently I can't count because that's backwards. However, they're not bad, really, honestly. They need some light cleaning, obviously, but this one is, I'd say that's 60. Well, I'll start from here. So 1 is 54, 2 is 56, that's 60, and I'd say 56 again. 5 flows a little more. What I might actually do is take that and stick that in 7 spot, considering it flows the most. I'm gonna clean them, I'll run them again, but that's really promising actually. And that's just idle. I'm gonna test them here on medium, high, and accelerating test and see what they do. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty easy to use actually, surprisingly. So I don't know. We'll play with a few things and see how it turns out. All right, and I just seen this, it's leak check, so let's check these things. They're not dripping at all. A couple of them have some stuff hanging down from prior, but they're not leaking, and that is at 70 PSI. Heck yeah, let's go. All right, so it's the next day. Obviously it's light out now. So I found out with this, I have to run them individually in order to be able to make it run right. With all of them firing at the same time, this poor little pump in here cannot keep up. It barely can keep up on a single injector. So I'm currently just doing a leak test on them before I do anything. But those other ones were actually pretty decent. They started giving weird results because I was firing them all at the same time. It wasn't consistent. So as soon as I took and did individual ones and ran all of them, I got a lot of better results. So I'm gonna check these ones and we'll follow up. Kind of see what I'm talking about. This is just a single injector running right now. And it's dumping like half pressure, so when I start running all of them, it really gets aggressive. The needle literally just kind of bounces right here. So, okay, so I got this other side tested and put back in. It's good. I cleaned it. It's doing better. I ended up sticking 4, 2, 6, 8. So I just pretty much reversed the flow. They flowed a little better in that direction. So that should help from grenading an engine. A little bonus. So I don't know why, but this has happened once before, and this guy, this little feller, just leaks. I don't know why I did it last time, and then stopped, and then it did it this time. But I'm gonna fix that. We don't want any leaks like that. That'll cause issues. We don't need issues. So I'm gonna quickly fix that. I got a plug somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Oh, let's find it. Is in. Hopefully it's not leaking anymore. Guess I'll find out. My torque converter dump valve is wired in and all plugged in. It keeps leaking slightly out of this side while sitting. Shouldn't. I'll dive into that, replace it if it keeps doing that. But everything else is looking pretty good. The pressure sensor, pressure transducer, whatever you want to call it, that's in, that's wired in. All beautifully loomed. Look at that. Did a good job. Other than that, I don't know, it just fell. I'm gonna try it out now. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't leak too bad. Now that's all over. I had a small little leak on this side of the fitting, so the solenoid side of the fitting. Hopefully I got it figured out now. Oh, it looks like it's leaking on its back. Hold. All right, so major win. I got it figured out. That one just had some residual crap on it, so I cleaned it up, but it is no longer leaking. I think this is the first time I really don't have any leaks. Teeny one right here from my valve cover gasket. I have new valve cover gaskets, and I'm gonna do that right now, but I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. Let's go racing. Let's go racing. It's that freaking time.